she did that wink. And what do you think is a master of facial expression? It's facial nerve. So, hello everyone, my name is Ambika. I'm studying MBBS first year from Pratima Institute of Medical Sciences, Telangana. Today, let's learn about facial nerve. So, without any further ado, let's get started.
The facial nerve will be emerging out from the lower part of the pons, that is the rostral pons, from the pontomedullary junction, and it comes out. It emerges out as two distinct roots. One is the motor root, that is a facial nerve proper root, and the other is sensory, that is nervus intermedius. Though it is considered sensory, it also has parasympathetic motor fibers. These two roots remain separated and they enter the internal acoustic meatus in the petrous part of temporal bone. The nervus intermedius and the motor root will be merging just within the temporal bone, and now they are referred as facial nerve. Just within the temporal bone, there is a ganglion known as genucleate ganglion. Genu in the sense bend. The facial nerve will be bending over this ganglion, hence it is known as genucleate ganglion. And now the greater petrosal nerve will be coming out. It travels anteriorly and it reaches the pterygopalatine ganglion. And from that ganglion, postganglionic fibers will be arising, and they supply the lacrimal gland and also a few nasal glands, palatine glands, and also pharyngeal glands. All these are parasympathetic innervations. And now from the posterior view, we'll see the complex course of facial nerve in the facial canal. So after the bending of facial nerve, there will be a small branch arising which passes anteriorly into the middle ear, and it is known as chorda tympani. It is so called as chorda tympani because it runs behind the tympanic membrane. It exits at the anterior side of temporal bone to join the lingual nerve. This nerve takes the gustatory sensations, that is the taste sensations, from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue, and also it takes a parasympathetic innervation to the submandibular and sublingual glands. And now let's see the motor innervations of facial nerve. It emerges out from the stylomastoid foramen. It is so named because it is present between the styloid process and the mastoid process. And from here, the extracranial course of facial nerve begins. Before emerging out from this foramen, the facial nerve gives a small branch to the stapedius muscle, which controls the movement of stapes bone. After emerging out from the stylomastoid foramen, it gives two short branches. Medially, it is the stylohyoid branch, which supplies the stylohyoid muscle, and laterally, it is a nerve which supplies the posterior belly of digastric. And now there is one more branch which emerges out and goes posteriorly, and that is posterior auricular nerve. It supplies the occipital belly of occipitofrontalis and auricularis muscle. And now the facial nerve will be ending by dividing into 5 terminal branches between the superficial and deep divisions of parotid gland. And the 5 branches are the temporal nerve and the zygomatic nerve, the buccal nerve, the marginal mandibular nerve, and the cervical nerve. All these nerves will be supplying the muscles of face, and they are responsible for the facial expressions. I actually painted these 5 terminal branches of facial nerve on my face. Well, it was just for fun though. So they are the temporal branch, the zygomatic branch, the buccal branch, the marginal mandibular branch, and the cervical branch.
So facial nerve is the 7th cranial nerve. It has both sensory and motor fibers. The motor fibers will be supplying the muscles of face. They are responsible for the facial expressions. See, the muscles of face are derived from the second branchial arch. So the fibers supplying the muscles of face are known as branchiomotor fibers. And the facial nerve also have parasympathetic motor fibers. Those are lacrimatory and salivatory fibers. And the sensory fibers are the gustatory fibers. They take the taste sensations from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. And also there are few fibers which are responsible for the touch pain and temperature. Not for the complete face, only for the external ear, a part of external ear. So now in a diagram I'll try to explain everything. Like it might look a bit complex, but I'll try to simplify it. Now let's see how all these fibers of facial nerve are connected to these nucleuses. So this is the 7th nerve nucleus, that is a facial nerve proper nucleus. These are the branchiomotor fibers which are coming out. So generally, all these fibers, which are emerging out from the nucleus, will be going forwards. But these facial nerve fibers will be taking a U-turn around the sixth nerve nucleus, and due to this course, there's an elevation produced in the floor of fourth ventricle, and this elevation is known as facial colliculus. And and these fibers will be emerging out from the pontomedullary junction. This is a pontomedullary junction, and these fibers will be emerging out. And now coming to the another nucleus, that is superior salivatory nucleus. So this green color one is superior salivatory nucleus. Though it is known as a salivatory nucleus, it also gives lacrimatory fibers. So this nucleus will give parasympathetic fibers, which are lacrimatory and salivatory. So this green one are the parasympathetic fibers. And now this nucleus is known as nucleus tractus solitarius. So all the taste sensations, whatever the taste sensations which are coming from this tongue will be connected to this nucleus. Facial nerve will be taking taste sensations only from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. The posterior 1/3 taste sensations of tongue are carried by glossopharyngeal nerve, and even those fibers are connected centrally to the tractus solitarius nucleus. And facial nerve also has some touch pain temperature fibers. Those are sensory fibers, and they will be coming and joining this spinal nucleus of trigeminal. This is the spinal nucleus of trigeminal. So now these are the branchiomotor fibers, the motor fibers. This is the parasympathetic fibers. These are the taste fibers, the gustatory fibers. And these are touch pain temperature fibers, the sensory fibers. So these three fibers will be forming a bundle, and this bundle is called as nervous intermediaries. Generally, we consider this nervous intermediaries as a sensory part, but it also has parasympathetic motor fibers. So this is posterior cranial fossa, and this is medial cranial fossa, and this is anterior cranial fossa. This is internal auditory meatus. So this internal auditory meatus, this canal will be connecting posterior cranial fossa to the middle ear. So these seventh nerve fibers will be passing through the internal auditory meatus and will be reaching the medial wall of middle ear. So this is a middle ear, which is a cube-like structure. So this is posterior wall. Just imagine I have removed the lateral wall. That is nothing but the tympanic membrane. Just imagine I have removed the tympanic membrane. So it looks like this. This is posterior wall, this is anterior wall, this is the floor, and this is the medial wall. So now this branchiomotor fibers, by passing through the internal auditory meatus, they will reach the anterior superior corner of medial wall, and there is a ganglion present over there, and it is known as genucleate ganglion. Genu in the sense bend. It is so called because all these fibers are taking a bend over this genucleate ganglion. Now these fibers will be going backward and then downward, and they'll be exiting out through a foramen. There's a foramen here which is known as stylomastoid foramen, and through that stylomastoid foramen, these motor fibers will be coming out. It is so called stylomastoid because it is present between the mastoid process and the styloid process. After passing out through stylomastoid foramen, they'll be giving a branch called posterior auricular branch, and then another branch which supplies the posterior belly of digastric, hence it is known as nerve to posterior belly of digastric, and another branch which supplies the stylohyoid muscle, hence it is known as nerve to stylohyoid. And then they go forward, and over the parotid gland they'll be giving 5 terminal branches, that is temporal, zygomatic, buccal, marginal mandibular, and cervical. Temporal branch, zygomatic branch, buccal branch, marginal mandibular branch, and cervical branch. So there is a mnemonic to remember this branches, that is 10 zebra bit my cat. I don't know how much this makes sense, but to remember it is something like 10 zebra bit my cat. So this is how the branchiomotor fibers will be reaching from central to the periphery. Now let's talk about the parasympathetic fibers, that is lacrimatory and salivatory fibers. These parasympathetic fibers, after passing through internal auditory meatus, it comes near the geniculate ganglion, and they diverge their paths. The lacrimatory fibers will be separating and the salivatory fibers will be separating. The point you need to remember here is that all these parasympathetic fibers will not rely on this ganglion, because this ganglion is not parasympathetic. There are only 4 parasympathetic ganglion. There are otic ganglion, ciliary ganglion, pterygopalatine ganglion and submandibular ganglion. So now these parasympathetic fibers that are lacrimatory and salivatory will be diverging their pathways. So this is lacrimatory fibers and this green color one is salivatory fibers. So these lacrimatory fibers will be going up to the middle cranial fossa and through foramen lacerum. This is foramen lacerum. Through foramen lacerum, they enter the foramen lacerum and they go forward. And there is an internal carotid artery. Actually, there is a sympathetic plexus around the internal carotid artery, and these sympathetic plexus will be forming will be giving few fibers, sympathetic fibers. They will accompany this lacrimatory nerve fibers. So these lacrimatory fibers, this nerve is nothing but the greater petrosal nerve, and these fibers are nothing but the deep petrosal nerve. And this canal is known as pterygoid canal, and the nerve present in the pterygoid canal is known as nerve to pterygoid canal. And these greater petrosal nerve fibers will be going forward, and there is a ganglion here. See, this is the pterygoid plate, this is maxilla. So between pterygoid plate and maxilla, there is a fossa known as pterygopalatine fossa, and the ganglion present in it is known as pterygopalatine ganglion, which is parasympathetic ganglion. So these parasympathetic fibers will be relying on this ganglion, and from there the postganglionic fibers will be coming out. Okay, there is a trigeminal ganglion here. It gives 3 branches. One is ophthalmic division, one is maxillary division, and this is mandibular division. So this ophthalmic division will be entering orbit, and after entering it gives 3 branches. One is nasociliary, one is frontal, and one is lacrimatory. Now there is a maxillary division which will be coming out through the foramen rotundum. So this is the foramen rotundum, and they come forwards, and it gives a branch known as zygomatic branch. So now why I am telling this is these fibers, the postganglionic parasympathetic fibers, which are the lacrimatory fibers, first they go travel with the maxillary division, this maxillary division, and then with the zygomatic division, and then they go and join the lacrimatory division, and in that way they'll be reaching the lacrimal gland and supplying the lacrimal gland. And the salivatory fibers will be going backward, downward, and they come out from the middle ear, and they will be joining this ganglion, which is known as submandibular ganglion, and from there postganglionic fibers will be supplying to the sublingual gland and submandibular gland. So the thing we need to remember here is that facial nerve will be supplying both sublingual gland, submandibular gland, but not the parotid gland. Though it passes above the parotid gland, it doesn't supply the parotid gland. Now the gustatory sensations, that is the taste sensations from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue, is taken by facial nerve fibers. This blue color one is facial nerve fibers. First they'll be joining the lingual nerve, and then they'll be joining this salivatory fibers, and along with salivatory fibers they come to the middle ear. Here you need to remember the point is that these taste fibers will be relying on the geniculate ganglion. So this geniculate ganglion has cell bodies of taste fibers. So this postganglionic fibers will be ending here, and from this the preganglionic fibers will be starting, and they end on nucleus tractus solitarius. So this nerve here, that is nothing but the taste sensations, which is collecting the taste sensations. This nerve is nothing but the chorda tympani nerve. So that completes all the fibers of facial nerve. So I'll just brief it up once. There is a nucleus known as facial nerve proper nucleus, from which the branchiomotor fibers will be emerging, and through pontomedullary junctions these branchiomotor fibers will be entering the internal auditory meatus, and from the internal auditory meatus these branchiomotor fibers will be bending around the geniculate ganglion, and then they come downwards, and through stylomastoid foramen they exit out. This is the extracranial course of branchiomotor fibers. Now coming to the parasympathetic fibers, which are salivatory and lacrimatory. Actually the both fibers will be going together until the geniculate ganglion, and when they reach this part they'll be diverging their pathways. The lacrimatory fibers will be going up through foramen lacerum. They go forwards, and this is the pterygoid canal. And these sympathetic fibers around the internal carotid artery will also pass through this pterygoid canal. So these fibers are known as deep petrosal nerve, and these lacrimatory fibers are known as greater petrosal nerve. And the nerve present in this pterygoid canal is known as nerve to pterygoid canal. And these fibers will be ending on pterygopalatine ganglion, and from this ganglion, postganglionic fibers will be arising. They'll be first going along with maxillary nerve, and then with the zygomatic branch, and then with the lacrimal nerve, and there is the lacrimal gland. That is all about the lacrimatory fibers. Now let's see about the salivatory fibers. The salivatory fibers will be going along with the motor fibers, and then they come downward, and then they jump out of the middle ear through a fissure known as petrotympanic fissure. And this salivatory fibers will be coming to the ganglion known as submandibular ganglion, which is a parasympathetic ganglion, and from there postganglionic fibers will be arising, and they reach the sublingual gland and submandibular gland. This is how they supply the salivary glands. So this is the mandibular division of trigeminal ganglion, which comes out through foramen ovale. So this is the foramen ovale, and this mandibular division will be giving a branch known as lingual nerve, and this lingual nerve will be taking touch, pain, temperature sensations from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. And the gustatory sensation is taken by the facial nerve from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. They first go with the lingual nerve, and then with the salivatory fibers, and then they enter the middle ear, and through the internal auditory meatus they enter the posterior cranial fossa, and then that is how they are connected centrally.
So that's all about the facial nerve. Thanks for watching, and I would also like to thank Oxyspy for this opportunity. So that's all about the facial nerve. Thanks for watching, and I would also like to thank Oxyspy for this opportunity.